through my mouth. Okay, so today I'd like to talk about standing that gap between, as my minister put, as former church, where we have to stand in the place of compassion, and have like a strong perspective that is flexible, a receptivity without being defensive to other people's opinions, and a warm heart that dares to dream. Now, the reason I say this is because I agree that the disability benefit is small and that it should come out immediately. I do agree with that. But I cannot, and I will not stand for language that is like, down with the government. Because I cannot stand with Christ and condemn some people who are in a really tough spot right now, being that we are in several wars. Some of them people have forgotten about, like the war in Sudan. And I just, and I don't know how much the government is involved there, but what I'm saying is government has to deal with a lot of things that are already on the public's mind. And unfortunately, disability is not. Is it fair? No. Do we need to keep striving for change? Yes. Absolutely. But we cannot do this by condoning behaviors like saying this is a betrayal of government, and always hitting the panic button when it comes to, like I said, the bus pass situation. It wasn't fair that the government in Calgary almost took away the affordable bus pass, which a lot of people with disabilities use, without even thinking about it. But the point is, we as a disabled people use the powers of social media for good, and we're like, no, and so did many other people, like immigrants and those who really need the low income bus pass, were like, no, what are you doing? And we gotta win, and I just feel we have to focus on this. We have to focus on the wins, and we have to ask questions. I think one of the biggest things about society is that when our ego gets in the way, much like the serpent in the story of the fall, and says, "You know much better." Like, overanalyzes everything, and then we have a little bit of knowledge, like what it could have been, what the disability benefit could have been, and we take it and we go, this is your fault. This is your fault that I'm upset. When really we're the ones who did not ask questions. Hey, sorry, my dog's in the far back. Stop it! Can you hear me through the window? Anyway, the point is, I think, yes, we have a right to be upset. Yes, we have a right to be angry. Yes, we have a right to say this isn't fair. But at the same time, I think we need to sit down with government. As my friend Mike Wing was saying yesterday, we need to sit down and talk. Literally sit down and see where they were coming from. Instead of playing a blame game, we need to take the example of Mary, whether you see it as a historical figure or something different. That's up to you. But we need to take the example of Mary and ask questions like, how can this be so? Like, the main person who I'm hopefully going to have an interview with sometime, the Minister of Disability and Inclusion, keeps saying this is a historical event and we need to sit down with him and go, okay, how, in your opinion, is this a historical event? Like, explain that, elaborate on that. Because we got so stuck on the it's not enough train that we couldn't see what she was actually pointing us to. Or what would have been a more productive conversation when it came to that interview. And so, yeah, we really need to be strong but receptive in our opinions. Or not strong but receptive when it comes to opinions dialogue. And we need to see this as a win. Because if we don't see the little steps forward, we'll never get anywhere. I know I sound like a one-trick pony, but it's really important to me because when I sat there on another meeting about the bus passes, when I sat there and I saw all that pain, I saw all that fear, it took me down for like 2 days. Because here I was, sitting in this group of people that were so scared, and I couldn't do anything to help. And when I asked, okay, can I come in as a crisis worker, it's like, let's talk together as a group, and I'm like, okay, but you better be sure I'm gonna ask this question, because we need that place where, yes, we see everybody else's side, but we also sing that place where people can cry. People can just be instead of jumping from one exam to the other. Or people accidentally, in my view, making it worse by saying, my day was taken away. Like I'm listening, then going, I love you. To this person, I love you, but that isn't helping. I mean, it is and it isn't. Because then you've got the idea what they could take away again. And especially with this best pass scale. So for me, I really think we need to sit down and at the beginning of these meetings go, okay, what does everybody need? Do we need an action session? Or do we need like a debrief session where we just cry and we sit with our emotions and not get mad in them, but we sit with them. Because what I've seen as a newbie is people just going, as my dad says, heads down, tail up, into the next issue, and I'm like, okay, that bothers me on the basis that I know when I don't get a space to let go of the pain emotionally, that just makes my reactions that much more sensitive. And so I really feel we need to be in a space where sensitivity and compassion is okay. And especially for the other side as well. Because disability is hard for people to get their head around. Because guess what? It's hard. It's not a tragedy. It's not something to fear. But it is something that fear comes up. It is something that people need to have compassion for. Especially me. when people look at me with looks of sorrow, I have to look compassionate, and it's not, because I don't know what I know what it's like to be fearful of somebody that you don't know, and because it took me until I was a Christian to really trust. And my dad's a beautiful person. He never, there was no bad stuff when I was scared. But because of my feminism, I was afraid of, because of my feminist studies, I was afraid of male shower care attendants. I honestly was. I have said, make sure a woman is on the schedule, and the only way I got them is if I took like weeks to get to know them. And that's really sad because I was going from knowledge, not communication. And I think that's what we need to do, is we need to stop going from our knowledge and actually communicate and see what's going on. And be like Mary and ask questions, and perhaps we'll actually find some common ground again. Okay, have a good day and God bless.